And hello everybody, this is Wardenofrenown, and I'm here with the first crafting video of the channel. The crafting video is for, let's see, I can't remember, I can't believe I forgot that. It's the Apprentice Prospector, and I'll show you all the places where ore is, or at least was common, and how to find it. And first off is the easiest bit, how to find it. When you become a class, a vocation that has Prospector, you get the track mines button, and by clicking that, you turn it on, and I was sure there were some around here, but apparently somebody took it. This place used to be covered in ore, and I have no idea where that went, so it's going to fast forward to when I actually find something. I couldn't find anything in the Chetwood, so I went down to the Midgewater Marsh, which is always a good place to find ore, and there's an ore deposit. This is what a copper deposit looks like. And incidentally, if you're a forester, that's what rowan branches look like, although that's a different video. And as you'll notice, if it's on your map, it will look like that. It has a little crafting symbol. And if it's off your map, but still fairly close, it'll tell you how many meters and in what direction. So when we get off my horse, this will take slightly longer for you. I have faster tools. You do the mining graphic, get a little experience now, and it adds a chunk of copper ore. Some deposits will give you 1, 2, or 3 copper ore, and if it's a rich deposit, it guarantees 3 to 5 ore. So then I took out that, see, that one gave me 2 chunks of ore, and sometimes they drop special items like amethyst, which can be used by jewelers. Or they have other items that can be used by scholars, or anything, it's just that particular item can only be used by jewelers. And so when you've got your chunks of copper ore, which I've gotten here to demonstrate, that's when you go back to your forge, although I suggest picking up more than that before you head back, because really taking a long trip to the comb to get just copper ore is just 3 chunks of copper ore isn't very smart. And also a bit of advice on where to find ore. I looked all around here and I couldn't find any, so either somebody's been cleaning that out, or that doesn't spawn nearly as much as it used to. But it looks like the Midgewater Marsh is still full of ore, because I only had to ride down to about here before I ran into something. And then I'm only showing Breeland, because that's the one place all characters will be in at one point. But if you go to map, Ered Luin, you can find copper and tin all the way down through about here. And up in here is about level 15, and that's when the journeyman ore starts showing up, and that's a different video. And then in the Shire, you have pretty much all of this, except for the very end bit, is normal ore, is the copper and tin, and then you have the barrow, iron, and silver for the journeyman. Over here in the bridge fields and the marish. And yep, that's pretty much the only places you can find this metal. When you get to a higher level, it stops spawning and it instead spawns higher level metal. And so, zooming forward to where before we get back, this is a rich deposit. It adds the little rich prefix to the name, and when you mine it, I was thinking that the ore steed might allow you to do it without getting off. That gave me 5 chunks of tin ore, which in crafting is actually pretty significant for a resource node. And apparently it's just not much ore spawning, because there's branches everywhere. I'm running into them every 10 feet, and this is the entrance to the Chetwood. I used to go here to farm the lower levels when I wanted to get ore, but now you can't, or just today is a bad day. So I'll say in my next video, I'll check and see if it was just today or if it's actually been reduced. But as you can see, it's not very significant at the higher levels, but at the lower levels, crafting can give you a decent little bit of experience. And I think the higher levels gives you more experience per node, because you're really not going to do anything to that level when you need 900,000 experience and you only get 20 per crafting node. Then this is a crafting workbench. Workbenches are used for some types of crafting. Forging isn't one of them, so we still need to forge on to comb. Bad pun. We need to still go to comb and find their small forge. And at the apprentice levels, any forge will do. At the higher levels, however, you need special forges, which only larger towns can provide, like Estelden and Lothlorien, and other places that are very important. And so, fast forwarding through a couple more nodes, it's just amazing. These tools I have on that you can get at level 55 are awesome. 2.75 seconds doesn't seem like much until you actually use them, and it feels like you just click it and it's almost done. It normally takes like 5 seconds total, so that's pretty awesome. And here you are at the crafting hall. The crafting hall in Combe is this nice little outfitted building that has decent roof and little flags and everything. The appearance varies from town to town. In Bree, it's a bigger building, of course, but in here it says crafting hall over the door, which is also a giveaway, and it's normally a symbol, a little forge symbol. You can't see it very well since I'm on top of it, but it's like these symbols. And that shows a place where you can craft your newly acquired resources and use them. And those are almost always at crafting halls. So as you can see, the layout's pretty nice, not all that confusing. You have this person over here is for cooks, I believe. And then that's the novice cook, and she sells what?
Greetings.
She just sells random things, nothing of really importance. And then you have the Master of Crafting Guilds, which you don't really do anything with until you get to Expert, I think. And then the Mistress of Apprentices, which you talk to. And right now it says change vocation, but when you don't have one, it's just learn a new vocation. And then you have the Forge. This is the Forge over here. And normally you have 3 types of tool: a hammer for the smithing, a pan for the cook, and others, and most importantly for Prospector, the pickaxe, which you not only use to find the metal, you also use it to craft the metal. So now that you have your copper and tin, you get into here, and it shows you how much you need to make for the recipe, and how much you actually have, and then how many it gives you, which is only 1, and if I get a critical success, I'll get 3. So I'm just gonna say make all, and I don't have enough room. I'll just tilt that. I don't clean out my inventory very much, so that's normally a big problem. And when you do this, it doesn't take all that long. You don't get the minus, what? I don't have enough room. It stacks. Why does, that's just confusing. I have enough room. I had this and it should stack on top of it, and it's gonna stack on top of it, so why didn't, okay, so crafting still confuses me sometimes. Apparently you need just an extra space open when you're doing this, for no apparent reason whatsoever. And there's my well-worn button, which I plan to use when I actually get to the right level, but you can do that for tin as well, and make all. And I gotta get rid of something because it's going to throw up a fit when it doesn't have enough room. And once you do that, you can go into refining, and a bronze ingot isn't used for very much except for, but bronze ingots are, I still don't remember how to pronounce that. I'll just call it an ingot. They give more XP than the first 2 did. They give less experience, but that's because you're really just processing the same thing multiple times. And that's a good deal when you're trying to level up your vocation. But you always want to make sure that you have what you actually are trying to. See, I knew it. It's going to throw up a fit as soon as I did that. And let's try that again. Make all. And it normally makes 2, and on a critical it makes 4. So it doesn't really kill any copper or tin ingots in the process. It just turns them into bronze ingots when they mix together. And only 1 more. I think this is also slightly faster than the other one, I'm not sure. Well, it looked slightly faster, and no, I'm not so sure. But when you've got your little metal, you can do with it as you wish. You can, let's just destroy these since I'm not going to use them. You can take your bronze and give it to a friend to use, or if you've got a weaponsmith vocation, you could take your bronze and actually use it to make stuff, or your copper or your tin. Jewelers can take tin and make beautiful jewelry out of it. That's good for the low levels. And all the crafting guilds can take all the crafting guilds that use metal can take those metals and make items for levels 1 to 15. At 15 is when you start using the Journeyman medals, which will be described in the Journeyman Prospector video. But if you're new to the game and still didn't know how to use the crafting like I was back when I started, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. And if you didn't learn something from it, please tell me in the comments how I could improve this video and make it more enjoyable for everybody involved. So I hope you enjoyed this, and take the time to leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you liked this video, and I hope to see you back for the Journeyman Prospector video.